Hey, what's up guys, it's Red here with another Chainsaw Man related thing that isn't a mythology type video. I'm kinda planning on making this a regular thing for a bit. So if you're here for the FE mythology vids, please stick around cause I'm still working on them. So anyways, this will be on the character behind all or most of the events from part 2. But before we get started, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I enjoy reading them even if I might not reply. Make sure to like and subscribe. Like 87% of my viewers are unsubscribed, so you might as well hit the subscribe button. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later. Also, make sure to check out my Ko-Fi if you really want to help support me and this channel and help me buy a better mic. So anyways, let's get started on the Mastermind. Fami. That's right, Fami, the Famine Devil, one of the 4 horsemen. It's pretty obvious that she's the one who caused everything and will most likely be the true main antagonist for part 2. I feel like the Death Devil might be a misdirection. Just like how part 1 had the Gun Devil be built up as the BBAG when the true main antagonist was Makima. And just like Makima, Fami has been the one in the shadows to pull the strings. Or maybe Fami just isn't even hiding it. It's like how Fami was most likely the one to have Asa killed for Yoru to take over her body. This one's more speculation, but it does make sense because Asa was killed by the class president who was contracted with the Justice Devil. I talked about it a bit more in this video about Asa and Yoru's situation, but no one watched it. So just watch it after this video, please. Anyways, the class president said that she was contracted with the Justice Devil. However, we later find out that this was the Justice Devil during the Falling Devil arc. And then we later find out that the Chainsaw Man Church, which I'll be getting into soon, had its members contracted with the Fire Devil. This means that anyone who was contracted with the so-called Justice Devil, like the class president or Yuko, were actually contracted with the Fire Devil, who was under the control of Fami, which again I'll be getting into soon. Anyways, it is stated that the Fire Devil told the class president to kill Asa, because the class prez already didn't like Asa because their teacher liked Asa even though the teacher was already sleeping with the class president. Anyways, this event was the cause for Yoru to get a host body, which Fami was probably trying to get for her because she needed war to fight death. Fami either guided Yoru or knew that Yoru would be nearby when Asa died, so that Yoru could take a host. Now onto the second event that Fami was explicitly shown to have caused. The Eternity Devil appearing during the Aquarium Day with Asa and Denji. We know that Fami was the reason the Eternity Devil took over the aquarium while Denji and Asa were there. She did this so that she could talk to Yoru by herself, since Yoru didn't fully take over Asa's body, which I think Yoru couldn't do because she was too weak to do so. Or it was Fami's plan to starve both Chainsaw Man and the War Devil so that she could make them her pawns. Anyways, we know that Fami can control and summon devils if they're starving, which probably means that they were starved of something and not just food. However, those pawns are weaker, which is probably why the Eternity Devil wasn't as much of a threat as the one in part 1. Also, the part 1 Eternity Devil consumed a bit of the Gun Devil, so either way, part 1 Eternity was objectively stronger even if part 2 Eternity wasn't weakened. Anyways, we see that Fami somehow separated Asa and Yoru while in the Eternity Devil. So if her plan wasn't really to turn Chainsaw Man and the War Devil into her pawns, it was probably just to talk to Yoru without Asa listening. So again, another event caused by Fami. Well, not the date part, but if anything, Asa and Denji going on a date is a bonus for Fami, as it's literally Chainsaw Man and her sister War, and a way to make them her pawns at the same time. Also, Fami totally knew that Denji was Chainsaw Man. I doubt that she didn't know who he was until they broke him out of the public safety facility. So now onto the next event that Fami orchestrated, the entirety of the Falling Devil arc. Seriously, Fami was the reason Falling, a primal devil who even though she was weakened, still caused worldwide damage just by casually using her abilities in Japan. So it's revealed near at the very end of the arc that Falling was working under Fami as a pawn so that they could trap Asa/Yoru to starve them and turn them into her own pawns. Like, Fami straight up just says this. Like, she used Falling to try to starve Asa inside the real Justice Devil's stomach so that she could get Yoru as a pawn. And again, Fami was the one to summon the Falling Devil. It's just as simple as that. Fami caused this important event as well. So what else did Fami cause and is in control of? Well, it's the Chainsaw Man Church. It's literally just as simple as Fami is in control of everything. Like when Haruka announced the Chainsaw Man Society for World Peace, which became the Chainsaw Man Church, after the show he was on when he announced it, he had a talk with Fami, talking about how embarrassing it was for him. But Fami told him to not think. That's when a mysterious person, who was most likely Barim, literally told Haruka, and I quote, "It's as Fami says, your job is to be the face, Fami is the brains. Together you move the body. The Chainsaw Man Society." It's literally as blatant as that. Fami is straight up just called the brains, the mastermind, the puppet master. Fami is the reason the Chainsaw Man Church even exists. She's the reason why they did what they did. Fami's plan was to have the members be contracted with the Fire Devil so that they could transform into people with chainsaws in their heads, who most likely didn't have all their mental capacities, so it was easier for Fami to make into pawns, which Fami used to cause a war of sorts to make people fear Chainsaw Man and war even more, causing them to get stronger so that Fami could use Chainsaw Man and Yoru to fight the Death Devil. Anyways, now onto the most recent actions from Fami, being the re-emergence of the Black Chainsaw Man, Pochita. Now, why do I think that Fami was the cause? Wasn't Barim the one to do that? Didn't Barim cause Denji to break by having him think that he was eating Nayuta instead of the sushi when Denji saw Nayuta's decapitated head? Well, yeah, Barim was the one to do that. However, who does Barim work for? It's fucking Fami. Barim was the one to follow the orders of Fami, as she, like Makima, was feeding Barim what he wanted. And that was for Chainsaw Man to emerge. Not just Denji, the one Barim fought, the one Barim is a fan of, the Black Chainsaw Man, the hero of hell, Pochita. Fami told Barim how to break the contract between Denji and Pochita, which isn't actually the case. Fami and Makima thought that they broke the contract, but they just don't know what the real contract is. Anyways, you might be thinking, why would Fami want Nayuta to die? Well, she wanted and needed the Control Devil to have a chance in fighting the strongest devil, Death. And the reason is because Fami needs people who truly follow her without hesitation. Fami didn't like it when Nayuta rejected her. Like, come on. Look at Fami's face in this panel from chapter 131 after the events of the Falling Devil's Rampage. That face speaks 1,000 words. One of a plan to get rid of Nayuta. As Fami knows Control will be reincarnated, so Fami could just get the new one to groom her to be her pawn. Nayuta's death also served as a way to have Pochita emerge, but let's not stop there. When Denji was reassembled and woke up, he was taken to see the burnt down remains of Denji and Nayuta's home. There, Fami suggested that Denji was hungry, so Denji chose that he wanted to eat sushi. And you know who said that they knew a sushi place? Fami. She had a location. One where she could send Barim to prepare the plan to emerge Pochita from Denji. However, her plans might have been foiled when Katana Man / Samurai Sword suggested going to the brothel he owned, and Denji wanted to go. However, when they get there, it's destroyed. Condom Girl was destroyed. Well, actually, as Asa pointed out, and I quote, it totally burnt down. I mean, come on. Specifying that it got burnt down when Fami has not only the Fire Devil as a pawn, but also the Flamethrower hybrid Barim? And what's more evident that Fami asked either the Fire Devil or Barim to burn it down? The fact that only Condom Girl, the brothel, was burnt down in the surrounding area. I literally made a Reddit comment talking about this, by the way. Seriously, like, what are the odds that only Condom Girl was burnt down? It was obviously Fami who had it burnt down so that her plan about the sushi restaurant didn't get derailed. And again, it was to show Nayuta's severed head to Denji. And don't worry, Nayuta's clearly alive, no copium, I promise. Anyways, this goes on to my main point, which is that this video is absolutely useless. Seriously, this video is absolutely useless. Fami is the most blatant villain who is working in plain sight. Seriously, even the dumbest person can read the manga and know that Fami is the main villain, or at least the biggest villain around right now. Don't take her goofiness or bluntness as a joke. Fami doesn't hide her obvious plans. She doesn't need to. Everyone in the manga is just a puppet for her to control. Literally since day one, she isn't even hiding it. When Fami and Yoshida were at the cafe, Yoshida told Fami that she was bad at names. But the truth is that Fami said, and I quote, "I don't care if my identity is exposed." She's not bad at names. Kiga or Fami aren't meant to hide her identity. She just doesn't care because people won't care or do anything about it. Fami knows this. She knows that people don't care, and when they do, it'll just be forgotten by the next day. Why? Because that's just how life goes in Chainsaw Man. We see this when people walk around a person's body who was contracted with the Fire Devil. Civilians just stopped caring about the Chainsaw Man church after it happened. Fami is just blatantly doing this without hiding because she doesn't care if she's caught. No one's gonna do anything about it, so why care? Everyone's focused on their own problems that Fami doesn't care if they know that she's the one behind it all. They won't do anything about it because everyone is already one of Fami's pawns and oblivious to her true intentions. So yeah, that's it. This video is useless because if you paid attention to the story, you would have already known that she's the final boss. Oh wait, I forgot Chainsaw Man is a shonen, and that the reading comprehension devil is already affecting Chainsaw Man fans. Like, Chainsaw Man fans don't care about the story. They care about aura, hype moments, and fan service. Fujimoto knows this, so that's why he writes Fami as the most blatant main villain who's working in broad daylight. He knows that all he has to do is make something shocking or cool appear and people will forget that Fami caused everything. But Reem is literally written as the average Chainsaw Man fan. He just wants to see Chainsaw Man chainsaw all over the place and fight bad guys. He doesn't care about Denji or his story. He's just like us. Just like those who don't think when reading the series. Just like those who purposefully just listen to the song and don't look for a deeper meaning. Those who think Fujimoto isn't writing and drawing things with a deeper meaning, and while there are things that Fujimoto just made a mistake with, cough cough, Nayuta's mole and Yoru's scar disappearing, Fujimoto clearly has things that aren't supposed to be taken at face value, but people don't care to scratch beneath the surface. Which is why Fami is just being out in the open and blatant. He knows that some or most readers don't pay attention to that, even if it's obvious. That's why he adds funny or shocking moments that overshadow Fami's blatant involvement of being the cause of everything, because Fujimoto knows that people will only pay attention to the cool stuff like fights and funny moments. That's why he just doesn't hide Fami's actions. And it's a great foil / the opposite of what Makima did. Makima was working in secret, having her actions be shrouded with some suspicion, while Fami is just blatant and out there, yet her actions are shrouded by the reader just not looking into them. So what I'm saying is that the average reader is just too stupid to realize that Fujimoto is purposefully using their stupidity to hide the openness of Fami's actions. But what do I know? I'm probably just overthinking it. Fujimoto just didn't think about that, right? We should all just listen to the song, don't look for any depth. He clearly didn't think about this, right? Yeah, Fujimoto clearly doesn't use symbolism that's pretty obvious to the reader. He doesn't think about any other meaning or anything in between the lines. We should all just take the story at face value. But seriously, Fujimoto probably knows what he's doing. He's making others think that those who look for symbolism are dumb because Fujimoto just didn't think about that. And that leaves me with one last thing. Chainsaw Man Part 2 is about conspiracy. About making others think that those searching for a deeper meaning are conspiracy theories, who are connecting dots for no reason, making readers think that those guys are crazy and stupid, when in reality, Fujimoto is just playing with all of us. This video ultimately doesn't matter. You'll hear this and you'll forget about me. Well, if you don't subscribe, which you should by the way. This video doesn't matter since if you read the story, you wouldn't need this. But we're all too dumb to realize it. Some of y'all will just disregard me and think it's stupid that I thought critically like the dumbasses that you guys are. And other viewers will agree and think that I cooked, and then we'll be dumbasses when it turns out that we're wrong. So, yeah. Stay tuned for future content, or whatever. Thanks for watching, my fellow idiots.